Yes. Okay.
You dream it, we blaze it.
The next one.
You dream it, we blaze it. You dream it, we blaze it.
Hello, a very good morning to you all. Welcome to the Dreamblazers channel. How are you again? Thank you for connecting, those who are tuning in, and continue to share. Welcome, Morgan.
Welcome, Joe. Morning.
How's everything?
Everything is okay. With the sun,
The sun peeling up, but
is it heat wave? They say there's a heat wave. So yeah, we enjoying the
we make the best moments with the sun. I was reading in the papers, when there was sun, and one of the beaches in Bournemouth, it was flooded. We don't know about the social distance rules, if they are applicable, but that's another story for possibly another day. The world that we are living, everything changes. Normally what you see is not what exactly it is.
Yes.
So we just hope what's important about what you're doing. Thank you so much. At the moment, those who are supporting us behind the scenes, thank you, our mentor, Mrs. Demera. We acknowledge and appreciate your support. And also our viewers and our fans who are joining us. Please continue to share the video, continue to connect with your friends and family as we gather momentum in this series. Today, we are on the 7th, discipline. Morgan, the 7th discipline.
Yes.
We are moving with the series disciplines, the 12 disciplines of success, which is coming from the 12 disciples. So today we're on the 7th discipline, which is the discipline of Thomas, discipline Thomas, or disciple Thomas. Morgan, just brief us. Thomas, known as the doubting Thomas.
The doubting Thomas.
What does it mean to us as decision makers when it comes to Thomas?
I think it's all coming down to when someone has got a plan, Joe, and it's written down.
Yes.
I think it would be not wise to keep changing the plan. So doubting is when you start, you go to the architect with your build, with your idea. They put it down in writing. It's okay when you're doing it in writing, but once it's finished, just now go and give the builders the plan and let them build. Why? Because if you keep doubting and changing things, so it's coming down to your plan. Now you've got a plan, it's written down. So today we will share just when Jesus was about to enter into his ministry. So he went for a test. So we are all tested. These disciplines we are talking about, they test you. It's an everyday thing. This is not a one-off event.
It's every day.
It's every day.
So you stand for something. If you don't for anything, you fall for everything.
That's it. Most people there have no ideologies. They just, they just
go with the flow.
They just go with the wind. So it's about your written plan, and you are going with that. No more changes. We go with that. You can change a plan, but don't keep changing your plan. Don't keep doubting. Yeah.
Morgan, most people we have spoken to, or
Yes.
people they've got this ideology that I am a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
There are no trades and there are no jacks.
Yeah, master
Just
of
to
none.
make a plan,
Mm.
stick to it.
Yes.
You see, there is no reason.
Mm.
Jesus was a long way planned already. Thomas was coming in. So in fact, we are being taught to be disciplined. A plan is a discipline.
Yes.
There is no jack of all trades, because sometimes we get into many things, manifold things, and what happens? We don't achieve anything. We are not creating things that can be smart enough to be measurable. You can't measure, you can't evaluate.
That's another thing, John.
Yes.
In terms of plans.
Yes.
They can be. I was saying to someone yesterday that for some reasons, say you've got a house you want to build, isn't it? In most cases, it is the architect who knows exactly the measurements, who knows exactly what cement goes into your building, how many bricks. The owner, you're not bothered about how many bricks are gonna, you can't calculate. So smart, like you say, smart plan. What does a smart plan do? It's measurable. It has time. You know when to finish.
Specific, yes.
So we're going to talk also about exits.
When to
strategy.
come
out, and when to go in, and when to come out. So there's, for every entrance, there's
always an exit. So the thing here, Morgan, is when you introduce this idea of when to come out,
yes,
people they think that, oh, it's a complete turnaround. Coming out means at what point are you gonna say, you know what, this evaluation, this is it's time specific. This is where I'm gonna evaluate whether I'm gonna assess going the way I was doing things, where I was gonna get to do things in a different way, whether I'm gonna get to do things that have worked. You keep on doing.
Yeah.
You see, and improvement as well.
Yeah.
The other day, now everyone is talking about how technology is adapted to even people that we thought maybe they're not gonna do push-ups. They're coming out. They're coming out. But the danger is everyone now wants to do it.
So there's
lack of creativity.
There's plenty of other things, isn't it, we could be asking ourselves to do. But
Yes.
It's okay. For starters, I think it's interesting that people are getting into this activity, and I think they know why they're doing it, because it's a project. Everything is a project. So the project is got a start and an end. So like you said, people, they might think exit strategy means,
Coming out.
No. The same motorway, in England, what you call is motorways.
Yes.
So the motorway you're traveling, there's an exit. You have to come out at an exit. It has to be defined, your exit, because there are many exits along the way. But it doesn't really mean that you cannot continue the journey. It doesn't mean that you cannot come back, through the same route. So it's not about, you're finished. No. Also, you see what we say, once you got an exit, and you know how to get
places. Those are connecting. We are about funding. We have been in the funding consultancy for a number of years now. So all what we are laying to our viewers and our people who are supporting us is that we direct people. We are the postcode in terms of when it comes to funding, in terms of startups, in terms of ideas. Where do you carry your idea, especially this time of crisis? Because people, they've gone into lockdown, things are opening up, there's going to be a lot of changes. Others are wondering, what's next? Am I going to go back to the job? Some have been told to work from home. How are you going to adapt with the children at the same time? So on the platform, we come up with various strategies, starting up new things, a new direction. How do you plan for a new idea that is sustainable?
Hey, I like it. What's next?
What's next? Yes.
So what's next, Joe, is a plan. Is next. Why? I get to speak to a lot of people, and this is what people think. And I think guys, I think sharing these things we listen to, and it's I know people like Jim Ron, they will tell you things like, listen, you would think that when I have the money, then I can plan. That's what most people think. So money usually is there. It's not about the money. The money is there, but when it comes, Joe, is it coming to a plan? Yeah. When the rain falls, is it coming to a dam? Is there a dam already? Because you can't build a dam on the day the water falls or on the day the rain falls. So you need a dam. That's a plan. And your dam is going to have a measurement. It's going to have, it has to be measurable.
Yes.
How many cubes do you want? Yeah. How many cubes do you want? So it's all about a plan. So you said, what's next? While you are in the lockdown, what's next?
What's going to happen?
What's next is your plan. Without a plan, right now, money is coming left, right, center. Yeah. We all know that there's money coming out there, but is this money coming to a plan? Guys, we are talking about whether it's funding or whether it's, there's these loans coming up. But is there a solid plan to this money? Because the money is falling now. The money is coming. Yeah?
Yes. When
it comes, Joe, where there's no plan, imagine what happens. Someone is already planning for you. Imagine.
Someone will plan for you.
Yeah, all these phones we pay, the rent, the mortgage. Someone has already built their dam for your money. So when you get money, usually you run to where there's already
something set up.
A plan.
Someone has got a plan for you.
So these are plans we're talking about. People have put plans for you. You have not planned for yourself. People are putting plans for you. So paying for the phone every month, it's a plan. That's why it says payment plan. It's a payment plan. Yes. So they've planned for you. Payment plan.
They plan for you.
They plan for you. So the time money comes, whichever way it comes, maybe you borrowed, or maybe it's a loan, or it's funding.
One of the things we need to share with our viewers.
Yes.
When it comes to money or the disciplines of money, today we are on discipline 7, the discipline of Thomas. Doubting Thomas, famously known. It's important. Why do you doubt your own plan? You see, so it's important to remove any doubt.
Now let's move plan. So why do you doubt? Let's put it that way. Why do you doubt? First of all, it's because there's no plan.
There's no plan.
If there's a plan, you minimize by doubting. Because why? We're going to look at what Jesus did. Jesus was just telling the what you call the tempter. What was he telling him? It is written already. Please don't tempt me with the city. Don't tempt me with other monies. Why? Because my plan is already written.
It's already
written. It's already there. So written thing, what is it? Put it simple, those who are talking about. Jesus was talking that he had a written plan already in place. So when the tempter comes, when temptation comes, you do not move. This is where doubting Thomas is coming into place. So it's good. What we are saying is to doubt what's still outside. But what's already inside, when you've got your plan written, no more changing. We can change plans, we understand that. But for us to finish, please don't keep changing your plan. Your house will never be finished. So even in this time, in COVID, there are plans you had before. don't change because we are now COVID. Otherwise, you keep changing. There are more COVIDs coming. So you keep changing your planning. Guess what? You never build up your house.
Morgan, when we talk about the COVID, I'm always fascinated with the Bible, which we carry most of our understanding and teaching from. People that think that the time of the plagues, it's a story. No, the time that we are living in, there's a different plague. You see, what does a plague mean? A plague means change. You see, so every day of your life, every day of your life, you are preparing in the event of the unpredictable. You are preparing for opportunities when they come. When there is a crisis, you see, I read, some of the things that we follow online. Someone was saying that, why do you concentrate on what someone else is doing? You see, why are you running someone else's plan? Because
where you concerned
about other people's
businesses.
Instead, have your plan written. When your plan is written, you see, that gives you an opportunity to develop. Because life itself, they say life it's like energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, right? Life itself right now, well, it cannot be destroyed even because of COVID, but there is a transformational process that is taking place. There is a change that is taking place. So if you don't adapt to the change and make yourself relevant with a plan, you'll be knocked out. There'll be no income. Here at Dreamblazers Smoking, one of the things that we share is sustainability. We've heard about the business loans and all that. Yes, it's possible, but where is the loan going onto a plan?
It has to be sustained.
It has to be sustained.
It has to, you have to have an ability to multiply.
To multiply it.
An ability to continue.
And when they're saying it's a loan, most people, they say, as long as there is money. A loan simply means someone has planned for you and you're going to pay it back, no matter how free interest period can be, but the bottom line is you're going to pay it back. In contrast, at Dreamblazers, we share with you how to attract funding with an idea. It's all about putting an idea down, making a plan, and act according to a plan. Now, plan, where is the plan coming from? Plan is coming from an idea. What is an idea? An idea is a solution to existing problems. So don't run away from problems, because problems, there are plans that are waiting to be executed.
It can be turned into money. So maybe Joe, just for interest's sake, what could be the plan behind, have you ever researched about the plan behind the bounce back loans? Because you said the one who's giving, they are not just giving, they've got a plan behind all this. So what could be, have you ever researched into that? What could be the plan, just to share?
The plan, it's always been known. Any bank, they want to make money. They're in business, right? So how do they make money? When you get the loan, you have to pay it back. So you become the subject, you become their worker. Okay. So instead, they know that, well, people can't go about doing things that the easiest way, if you're registered, you're in. It's easy to get that money if you're a registered company. You see? So the easier you get it, the easier it's then for if they've actually employed you to work for them. So these are some of the things that people need to be aware of, that loans, they can come at any cheapest rate, but in its entitlement, they're saying that here you are, come and work for us. So the more you work for that loan to pay it back. So in the next whatever loan period, that amount, the banks, they don't have to do anything because they know that their plan is being executed.
According to Proverbs 22:7, according to Proverbs 22:7, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender.
The borrower is slave to the lender.
Yeah, so the rich rule over the poor. So you have to ask a question, how or why? So it says the rich rule over the poor. Then ask the question, how, and ask the question, why. You should always ask questions. So this is how and why. And the borrower is slave to the lender. So you become slave to the lender. That's how they rule over the poor.
Yes.
So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to know why are they doing it? What's the catch behind? So that's another way of ruling the poor, is to give them something.
You see, so what we are sharing today is that at Dreamblazers, we specialize in studying problems. The reason why we study problems is because where there is a problem, there are opportunities. Right now, the option is there of the loan or to go without a loan. As we
the funding.
The funding
is still the same thing.
Funding, you don't have to. Funding, they're called, it's outcomes.
Public. Also, it's public. Public funding, meaning you are the public. You are
doing it.
Not public, meaning it's your money.
Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to it. Anyone is entitled to it.
Public, it means public funding, meaning you are the public. We are the public. So it's your own money, but it's been it's been entrusted with certain people who are also employed just like you. Just when you want to go and get the funding, you just have to meet certain conditions. Guys, we are not discouraging on loans. We are not discouraging on.
But it has to come on a plan.
On a plan. The whole idea was that, is there a plan set in place when this money is coming in? Why? Because we said if there's no plan, you are planning to fail. So it means getting that money, you are already failed. Because why? There's no plan in place. So guys, plans, I think.
Plans is like a journey. Okay. You know, there's something interesting about the journey.
Yes.
Every journey, for example, by road, you might not like Mr. Mercedes like Mr. Honda, you might not like Mr. B plan, you see. So it's not about this arriving to the plan.
It's not about the state of travel. It's about the state of
the plan, state of arriving at the plan.
Arriving at the plan,
So,
your destination. So
destination.
A plan gives you the postcode.
Yes.
It gives you a postcode. So very important. Actually, let's not just stick on what's happening at the moment. Also, Joe, very important on what we get as our wages, or what we get as our pay, or what you call it. Yeah, your wages. Yeah. So where is your wages going?
I think going to plan.
Yeah, because I've always had a problem myself with chasing bills. It looks like you are working for bills. Is that what it is? Why do we prioritize our bills all the time? Why is that more and more bills, they accumulate to your bill list? What's happening? So it means we're going back to where we started, where we said everything starts with desire. So be careful your desires. If you keep adding to your desires, it means whatever is coming in will go towards your desires. Because for some reasons, our desires are there to destroy us. There's I like, is it Kawasaki? Robert Kawasaki. He says there's a difference between an asset and a liability.
Yes.
So when you buy a mortgage, you think you've bought an asset, yet it's a liability. Why? If anything takes money out of your pocket, it's a liability. Yes. So if you are paying for it, it becomes a liability. It's not an asset. So what are we saying? We're just saying when you have a plan, even your wages can go towards your plan, and you're building, onto your plan. So the bottom line written down plan. Written down. It has to be written down because it's there. It's only you who know your plan. So sometimes you need people to show your people for your plan so that you can be accounted, checking against what you've planned. Because Joe was talking about evaluation. How do you evaluate your journey? You evaluate through accountability. You can't just evaluate it yourself. You have to have something that measures to say, listen, you said you'd get here by 6 o'clock. Where are you? It's a good thing, isn't it? You phone your destination, you tell them we're arriving at this time, and then they should be able to say, it's now 6 o'clock. Let's check. Where are they still? Where are they? So it's good to have accountability. Accountability, I think it always means where 2 or more are gathered. There has to be 2 or more. Just yourself, you cannot account for yourself, because when it comes to voting, it is just you and your vote. And also don't have relatives in voting, because if you and your wife, you start your ministry, and then when it comes to vote, and it's you and your wife, there's no win there. You fight, but at least you have a third person who can say, is it 2 to 1?
Yeah, 2 to 1.
Other than 1 to 1. 1 to 1 is dangerous. So this is why all this we are talking about, it involves 2 or more, which is 2, 3 always. What's organization? 3 people. So a plan has to be organized by 3, a minimum of 3 people. Those who have more than 3, we are seeing problems, guys. Those who have more than 3, we are seeing a lot of problems in their planning. Why? Because there's what we call conflict of interest. Conflict of interest just means we all have different interests. So imagine when you put 10 interests, Joe, in one room, what will happen?
Obviously, when it comes to planning, a conflict of interest, it's governed. There's no problem with bringing talents together. But the idea is to manage conflict of interest. How do we manage it? It's called a constitution. Because organizations, they grow on different, you recruit people according to their talents, you see. So the idea is, these people, what are they coming? Are they coming to a plan? Because conflict comes if there's no what? There's no plan. Who is doing what?
So it means a constitution is part of a plan.
A plan.
So this is the reason why we all need constitution.
Constitution or governing document or something they call it, articles, whichever it is. It's a plan. Are people that you are employing or recruiting coming to a plan?
Who's doing what?
Who is doing what? You see. So that's the most significant things or most potential.
What are the basics, Joe, though, for a constitution? What are the basics in terms of who's doing what? How many people and what are their positions?
The minimum is 3.
Yes, who are they?
The chairman, chairperson, the treasurer, and the secretary.
That's it. And guess what? The interesting part. Do you know the chair? What does the chair do? The chairs meetings. And what does the secretary do?
Taking notes of the meetings.
So they write down?
Yes, write down.
All meetings has to be written down, right? That's why we are recording this. And we've learned from our mistakes that sometimes if things are said without recording and if things are said without written, we will always argue, because that was the 4. The 4 meant that what God had said, because God was saying in Genesis 1. So whatever God had said in Genesis, telling Adam, because Eve was now having a discussion over unwritten stuff. So what they were arguing was that they were arguing over what was said in Genesis 1. So they were saying, God said. Did God say? Because that was the question. Then Eve said, no, God said. So they kept going on that. So Eve gave in because probably she's, I'll put it, in my imagination. Probably she was not the one who was told, because God was telling Adam. Eve was telling Adam. So if Eve wasn't, she was present, but she was still general. She was still in she was still in Adam's, she was still in Adam. So now she says, no, God said. Why she gave in is because she wasn't there. So what experience does the pastor snake, the serpent, experience will always give you what they've already done. So if you failed in your past exam and you don't change the plan, like Joe was saying, you always fall again when you, so Eve followed experience. So what happened? They fell. But that's another story for another day, because falling, it's not falling as we think, as failure. But yeah, it's always good. You fail, you wake up, you go to the next stage. So a plan, if it fails, always have plan B.
Yes, it's always to have a plan. That's the most important. Plan, it shows
whether it's plan C or plan D, or have a plan.
It has to be a plan. Because right now, you just mentioned about plan B. Right now, yeah, people, they've got this luxury of saying, oh, there's plan B. For example, applicable at this time. It means, plan B means how you were doing things before might not be possible to do it again now. So you need to change the strategy. You need to change, to twist the plan according to, for example, we've got a lot of churches right now, the online ministry or the line, most churches, they were not yet there, you see. So what does the change of plan mean? Dress in your uniform, those who wear uniform, and do yourself, he said, all with your uniform.
It's impossible. Okay. It's simple. That's why there's so many changes now, especially with churches, because now people are realizing that I'm set at home. Yes, no uniform, no one is watching me, so there's no accountability. So listening to pastor for 1 hour, because most of them are saying now, reduce the time. Why? Because now you have time to evaluate. So I think this is good time for evaluation. So like you're saying, Joe, I wanted to add on to that, saying that, look, what we have to understand, the real understanding about plan B, and plan A, what it simply means, so that it doesn't, don't let it be too hard. God is about functionality. God is about how things work. God is how things work. So God is, if you want to understand God, just understand how things work. So I just want to put a very, a scenario so that, someone can get what we're trying to say. So plan A, say you got a seed, Joe. Yeah, you got a seed, a mango seed or whatever, a seed. So plan A is that the seed captures the tree with the fruits inside it. Yes, that's plan A, right? Plan B now, when the tree has to come out of the seed, or the plant is got to come out of the seed, plan A has to break. Yes. So it has to be understood, because this is how we write projects. Those who want to know our secret, yeah, we got what we call general, which is the seed. So general stuff is not specific; it's all covered up. It's more like your present. It's covered up. You don't know what's inside unless you break the package. You break the wrapper paper. You open a box. So you're unwrapping, you're breaking, right? Yes. So plan B is when the seed is out. When the plant comes out of the seed. So simplify it. So it might be, I've had some prominent, I'll tell you, Schwarzenegger, I've heard him say, oh, there's no plan B. No, there is plan B. Because process is plan A and plan B. Process is plan A, plan B. Without plan A and plan B, there's no process. Process is simple. So what is God? God is the way things work. God is that process. God is not a person. That's the problem. If you imagine God as a person, then you are too limited, because God is the way everything works. So learn how things work. Learn how plants, how do they work? Simple. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. A lot of maybe they might wonder why are we saying all these things? We are saying these things so that we understand that wherever we are, even during the time of a crisis like this, like now, whatever problems that people are facing, whatever challenges, that there are opportunities. the opportunities that comes with funds. You can attract funding, but you can't attract funding by thinking. Thinking, you write your idea down, then when you write an idea down, it becomes a plan. You are going into action to act according to your plan. There is nothing wrong, our friends and colleagues. There is nothing wrong with being employed in whatever employment that you are. There's nothing wrong with that.
Make it your plan A.
Make it your plan A.
Make it your plan A.
The issue is, what are you becoming after that? What is important? Let's remove the job now. What yourself? Who are you? Where are you going? Specifically, what do you want? Is it? Are you relying on the job? Is it possible? Most of the jobs and places, they're closed now. So it means that you can't rely on them.
So you're closed as well.
So you need to rely on your plan. You need to rely on your idea. Us as Dreamblazers, that's what we teach and share. Relying on yourself, identify a problem, write it down in a plan, make the plan actionable. Identifying a problem means an idea, how to be a solution to an existing idea. We've spoken earlier on about PTSD, post-stress traumatic whatever disorder, a mental health condition. There are so many issues right now because of mental health, because of isolation. We're saying there is funding to be distributed to solutions to mental health related, any other problem, even to children, malnourishment and things like that, right? And the best part with idea is that ideas have got no borders, because most of our clients or most of our colleagues, they always ask us, I want to take this idea to wherever they've come from, to Africa in particular. There is nothing wrong with that, but where are we starting from?
Very important. So we start with yourself.
Yes.
I think very important, like you're saying, if you are employed, then don't rely on the job. Become something while you're at that employment. Also, when Joe said rely on yourself, we are not saying rely on yourself entirely. We are saying have an idea. You start with an idea. But then what we are teaching today is we are teaching about disciplines, but these disciplines, they will have to come into disciples one day, which means you're going to create a team. So rely on your team. But before you rely on your team, rely on yourself. So see yourself coming out of this employment, come up with a plan. Once you come up with a plan, then build a team around you. This is all what we're talking about. So this team, Jesus said 12 disciplines or 12 disciples, as you know them. So it means he had internal disciplines, which he externalized as disciples. So you should also have, we are not saying 12, whatever number, we're saying the magic number so far is number 3. You have to have 3. These 3, which Joe said, the chairperson, the secretary, and the treasurer. This is what we call organization. You cannot be called an organization when you are just yourself. And what Joe also was saying, begin with yourself being organized. Maybe talking about disciples, Joe, and disciplines. So maybe what we are saying, disciplines, is you getting organized yourself first. Get organized yourself first. Organize yourself first. When you're organized yourself, bring that organization. How do you do it? You choose 3 first. This is something we should maybe help others out there who are beginning their charities. Let's talk about the charities, because we are more into charities now. Now, guys, most of you start registering your charities. All those who have received their first funding, we should start now registering our charities, because we are going now into the second phase, where if we want bigger funding, we have to have our charity numbers, right? But I was talking about being organized. So you are organized yourself internally. Then how do you externalize organization? You choose a minimum, please, a minimum of 3 people to minimize what we call conflict of interest. What is conflict of interest? Is that we all have interests. Selling our vision to many It's not easy. It's difficult. But if you can manage to influence 2 people to run with in the first, in your first startup, then it will be easy for others to come and join you. Why? Because you'll be already organized. You have these disciplines you've put together. Then whoever is coming to join you, they're coming to join where there are already disciplines, where there's already a system, a process. That's what it's all about. So at some point, I think in future, you hear us talking about cloning yourselves. So what is cloning yourself? It will be like you are repeating yourself, like McDonald's. They can repeat themselves in Egypt. They can repeat themselves in Zimbabwe. They can repeat themselves anywhere. Why? Because they've run this plan over and over again. And this plan, they don't need to keep adjusting it. There are adjustments, don't get us wrong. Like now, I think this is what I assume. I think computers are taking over. So next time you find a computer serving in McDonald's. But what is it? Where is the computer coming? It's just replacing a human being where the process was already there. So there's a process. A plan is a process. So this is what we are thinking about. 3 things: idea, plan, and action. But before your action, make sure you have a plan written down. But before a plan, make sure you have an idea of a problem you want to reduce. If you don't have that problem you want to reduce, then it will be difficult to evaluate where you are going, because we don't know what problem we are reducing. So most of you come to us and say, so if I do this and that, does it pay? No, it's not about this and that, whether it pays or not. It's about a problem identified.
A problem identified.
Reducing it.
Yes. And most people, they say, what's the best idea? What's the best business? Like what you're saying. The best business is the best solution to an existing problem. The best business is an existing solution to an existing problem. So that's the business ideas that we can come across. So in addition to that, we encourage, thank you so much, our supporters. Let's acknowledge our supporters and those who have joined us. Zara, thank you. That's the name of the right. Yeah.
Nice.
And Rico.
Thank you.
Rico, all the way from Zimbabwe. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Just drop a comment and we see where you are watching us from. And thank you so much for connecting. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Guys.
Right. So today we are following the disciplines or the disciples. The Bible itself is functional, it's relevant, and we need to be able to apply it in our lives on a day-to-day basis. Today we're talking about the 7th disciple, Thomas. Thomas is known for doubting. He's referred to as the doubting Thomas. But where does it come in? Thomas doubted, but he did not change the plan of Jesus. So that's what we're saying. Every plan, successful business, it's an idea that will never change. No matter, you don't have to doubt, because doubt brings fear. You see, so when you've got a plan, you've got nothing to fear, because a plan will exist as long as even the idea itself was not there, a plan. Mr. and Mrs. McDonald's, we've never met them, we'll never see them anytime soon. But look at McDonald's flourishing. So that's the power of an idea. An idea can manifest, well thought out, written down, and executed. So myths are wondering, I want money, all this money. No, the idea is be organized. Being organized, people, it means just have a bank account. If someone
Those
open an account with you, those are the basics. Have a business account. If
call it a community account.
Have a constitution. Lay out your aims and objectives. Have a proposal, which is the last thing. The evaluation framework. You see, so that's being organized.
That's a plan.
So they are not gonna say, "Oh, we have released so many millions into communities." Yes, they've released millions, but they're not gonna go into personal accounts. They're going to go into an organization. An organization, 2-3 people coming together to achieve certain goals and objectives. That becomes an organization. So here at Dreamblazers, that's what we help people to develop ideas, make them come to fruition, and make them become relevant and actionable. And Morgan, people also want to know that, even during this time of COVID, we've made some successful funding bids.
Oh, definitely. And, we are grateful at the moment because we've had positive. In the past, we've been struggling because things have been changing, guys. They've been changing goalposts because, as you appreciate, I think the government has been taking over some of the systems, which we are using now they are using now to dispense money. So just for those who already know that why banks are busy is because of the loans and all these other things going on. So business is peaky at the moment. Things might look low, but business is at its peak to those who had plans. And also, we talking about people being funded in this moment. Yes. Now there's what we call the government funding, which has taken over the big lottery, the one we used to call community funding. It's been taken over by the government funding. So things are a bit loose. Why? Because the government is having different outcomes from what the funders were looking for. So it means if you've been affected, or if your organization is affected by COVID-19, then you are in for money. There is funding for being affected. Believe me not, everyone has been affected. Now, Joe, interesting part about this COVID-19 funding. It's positive, negative. The outcomes, they want to hear the positive and the negative. So it's not only about problems. Yes, you had problems, but they also want to hear, because they're evaluating. It's a project. So they also want to hear, what are the positives that have come out of COVID? What are the negatives that have come out of COVID? So we always say, Dreamblazers, we are reporting positive outcomes. Mostly they are positive. Because why? We've eliminated locations. We've eliminated the way we've been approaching to our customers. So our clients are now, globally. We broader now. People in America can be watching us right now. But before, we were so confined to a location. But now it's not about location. So we can reach out to anyone. Now my dad can be watching me presenting these workshops. So what are we saying? We are reporting positive outcomes and negative outcomes.
So funding, it's all about outcomes.
Yes.
Why are you doing it? I want to increase someone's confidence. I want to raise awareness about mental health. I want to support people who are bereaved. I want to support children with disabilities, with autism. I want to support the elderly people in our communities who cannot access services because services, they are closed or they are reduced in capacity. I want to support women who are victims of domestic violence. I want to support orphans. These are the example of a few of the things in terms of funding that can attract funding. So at Dreamblazers, we help to write proposals. Proposals, they come like where we are today, seventh disciple, Thomas. We want to be able to develop plans that are unchangeable, that are resilient, that are sustainable. The best option is to go for the funding, free grant funding, as long as it's about meeting the conditions. There's no fear of not meeting the conditions because we've already existing problems. You see, a lot of people, they are now even coming online, doing different activities. But the key question is to carry us forward. How can we sustain them? We don't want a situation where maybe the COVID lockdown is finished, all these push-ups, press-ups, and all these ups and downs, it's finished. They have to continue in some way, but above all, they have to be sustainable. You see, we are not the gym, operations and function of the specified location of gym. It's going to change. So we're going to have gym. If you need facilities now in your backyard, this is the time to act. get organized, bank account, aims and objectives, constitution, business proposal, business plan, and evaluation framework. So once you do that, you can have a gym in your backyard, still continue doing the same, but making a difference to the community. That's what we are talking about. So funding is have an idea, which are already there already because of the experience in COVID. Let's put it down. When we put it down, we'll be able to attract funding. So in the long and short of it, we attract funding through writing down problems, which becomes our business plan. So a business exists as long as a problem exists. So if you've got questions, is we'll be rounding down the submission for this morning. Write your questions. If you've got any questions, any updates, we know that we've got a lot of people that if applied for bank accounts, the process is ongoing. As soon as the bank account is out, the team behind the scenes, they will go and write the proposals. So if you've got any questions on this discussion, what you've just prompted you, or something that you've had to clarify, if you want us to clarify live on air today, we are available as usual. Connect with us. We're also available right now. You know, maybe you might be interested. We've got Zoom live. We are live on YouTube as we speak right now. So connect with your friends and family. We are knowledge-based products. We're knowledge-based services whereby we're sharing information. The main purpose of Dreamblazers, sharing information about
free
funding,
information.
about funding. So this information, we realize that our communities, we don't share information enough. Even if we are good at sharing maybe negative information, but they are also positive.
Yeah.
They are also
Positive.
I don't want to touch any raw names there,
Yeah.
but there are also a lot of positive information that people we can share, develop ourselves as a community, not to be a community of negatives, but to be a community of identifying opportunities, developing ideas, sustainable businesses, because some of the issues that we face in families, domestic abuse, they're coming because we're lacking plans, we're lacking sustainable ideas, we're lacking funds to sustain ideas. If you keep yourself busy in a sustainable idea, the less you have personal tension and building unnecessary conflicts.
Definitely, definitely. So with that, Joe, I think we've come to that time where we have to run down and if no questions, we will have to say we'll meet you again at 2 p.m. where we go in our demonstration mode. Today, we're going to demonstrate how you avoid changing, keeping changing, doubting your plan, how you can continue with a plan, how a plan manifests, how the word becomes flesh. How do you have your word becoming flesh? So we're going to have that in our second phase. So please join us in our second phase and we will demonstrate how the word becomes flesh, how you avoid being tempted, how you avoid keeping changing your plan. Enjoy.
Right. Yes, thank you very much, Rico, all the way from Zimbabwe. Zara, my Zara. Oh, I like the way she put it there. Memory, I believe. Tandy Badza and Whisper Ziboa, thank you so much for keeping us company, guys. We appreciate your support. So if you've got any ideas, I know some of you guys are already in the process, and it's all about resilience. Don't give up at this point, because once we sow the seed now, rain is gonna come. The good sower keeps on sowing despite the knowledge that there's evidence that birds, they can actually come and devour.
They'll always come. Birds will always come.
Birds will always come.
We always have weeds as well in your garden. One thing about weeds, they don't ask you whether they want to grow. You just find them growing. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's that you eat. It doesn't just grow naturally. But the weeds, they will always come. So know how to manage your weeds. That's it. Weeds will come. Birds will come and take your seed. But continue sowing your seed. stop fighting. Yeah, this community, please, Zimbabwean community, stop fighting, stop being negative. Honestly,
yes. We need to just encourage one another.
Encourage one
Let's
another.
see the positive
There is
in each other.
this pie, the money is out there.
But
Whatever little we have,
yes,
it's nothing. We haven't started. We still got a lot to learn. We still got a lot to go.
We better learn together.
It's a long journey.
Because, we had another, this another organization doing the same things and all that kind of thing. There are people like you and I who have come together, made strong organizations. They've got solicitors, they've got doctors, they've got social workers, they've got nurses who have come together to help and support their communities. They've built capacity to attract millions. Yes, to attract millions. They are owning buildings, they are running institutions, they've got schools of their own. Why? Because they've got one simple ingredient: working together. Charity has just put a question. Charity Mandenika, thank you so much.
Hello,
Charity.
Pastor.
Thank you so much for connecting with us. Please, can you provide notes? Certainly, we will provide relevant information. This is just to raise awareness that we can share this information with anybody. So after in the course of the week, we can conduct on one-to-one sessions and provide all the detail. These are custom-made detail because they will be made specifically to your needs. So thank you so much, my pastor Charity Mandenika, for connecting, and he would certainly give you the products, the information in a written form, or what the next stage is. In the afternoon, Morgan has just hinted, we'll be logging off shortly, preparing for the next session at 2 o'clock. In the afternoon, we'll demonstrate how an idea that we can grow today and we can transplant it to any part of the world. So we'll be demonstrating that this afternoon at 2 p.m. Those who are with us, those who will come and join us, please don't miss out the next episode at 2 p.m. UK time, where we'll be sharing and demonstrating the secret. We like to talk and walk the walk. So at 2 p.m., we'll connect. For now,
please, also those who've submitted their application forms, start checking your emails.
Yes.
Please. Good morning, and we love you all. Thank you.